is called to order at 7:02 p.m. Clerk will call the roll.
Jenny? Here. Eden?
Here.
Hilda?
Here.
I'm here. John?
Here.
That's it?
All right. We're all here. Public comment is next on the agenda, and we will wait for a few and see if there's anyone out there. Still some feedback, slight feedback, James, if you can hear us.
He's got it. He's got a thumbs up. Way to go, James.
All right, I guess no public comment, and there's no one here to talk to us. So we will move on to approval of June minutes. If anyone wants to entertain.
Motion to approve June minutes.
Can I just make one note on the June minutes? It said that I was virtual, but I was here.
Did you come in late?
No, because I ran the meeting.
Oh.
I was virtual.
Yeah, Hilda was the only one virtual, and you
Really?
put yourself as virtual.
She was. She
Oh,
was
you
virtual.
okay.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember.
I think Felicia was virtual too, I think.
Really?
No. Actually, everybody in June was virtual. It was just
Yeah, 'cause
Jenny and Felicia and I here in the studio because of the storm.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's right, it was pouring then, I remember
Yeah.
I went
Yeah.
to the side of
Right.
the comedy, yeah.
Never mind.
So
I was here.
I know, I'm like, I thought I was here.
we were drowned rats, but we were here.
yeah, 'cause every once in a while, if someone starts out virtual, I might have it wrong.
Right. Sorry. Okay, on Jenny's motion, any other motion?
I'll second.
Seconded by Eden. Take a vote. Everybody in favor of the June minutes? Aye?
Aye.
Hi.
Okay. Moving on. ED report. Tina, take it away.
I sent my ED report. Is there any questions?
So there was a lot involved with the ED report, right? Or are we just talking about the ED update?
The ED update.
Okay.
Which I put on our website the day after the meeting. I guess the biggest win out of in my opinion, was working with the city of Malden to earmark about $25,000 from last fiscal year's capital funds to pay for the new media server, which is desperately needed, and to reimburse for our capital expenses for Q4. Normally, we would just take it out of the current capital year or the fiscal year, but since now we have a 5 and a 10-year capital plan, it's easy to identify where we need to spend those funds, and by asking for the earmark and getting all that taken care of at fiscal year end, we don't have that leftover money doesn't roll into the general fund of the city, and we don't have to go through the free appropriation process. So it was a huge benefit to our organization, and we don't use up any of the allocated capital funds this year. So basically we couldn't do the purchase and project before the end of fiscal year. So we contacted the city and said, hey, we know we want to do this. Can we use the funds from this year? And so, yeah, that's the first, I believe, for our organization. So being fiscal responsible. Other than that, there's lots of stuff in here, so.
Yeah, so tell me again where that is in here, because I'm not seeing $25,000 of.
Well, I think I just, I always do key highlights, so.
Is it under financial highlights?
Is it under, oh, it's the first bullet point, fiscal year capital, under key highlights, fiscal year 25-26 capital funds secured for immediate share and Q4 capital expenses.
Okay.
So in the first page, I do key highlights.
Got it.
Hilda, do you have any questions on the ED report?
I like reading through it. You guys had people in for the summer youth workshop right?
Yes.
And how was it there with everything going on with the renovating? Was it as expected?
I don't know that we had any renovations here while they were here.
No, but I mean with like, what we have going on at UMA right now. Is it different from last year? I guess is.
No, I think it was a lot smoother this year. We had 2 returning youths and 2 new youths, and so it was really fun, interesting dynamic. I asked anything I reference in my report. I asked James to provide because he and Aaliyah were the 2 tag teaming on the youth workshops. We also had a group of 3 Malden Catholic interns here. They just finished up their internship today, but they were here a week prior to learn media production, and then the week that we had the youth workshops, they were doing all kinds of behind the scenes footage and capturing basically the whole event. And then this week they were working on putting together videos and promos of all of that. And so
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's good. And did that feed into, because you guys have 170,000 subscribers now on YouTube, do you think that kind of helped push you guys towards that, or was it?
I have no idea, to be honest with you. We have 170,000?
I think it's about the music video.
170,000 subscribers
No, that's
different.
no, that's
for the YouTube channel?
no, that's not us. That's not us.
That's neighborhood.
Or UMA featured in a YouTube
We were
channel
featured-
with 107, right?
Yeah,
that
we
one.
were featured on a channel that has 170,000 subscribers. I was like, wait, what happened on YouTube?
What channel was that?
Sorry,
gone
I have
viral.
it here in my notes. UMA featured in YouTube channel with 170.
Yeah.
Not UMA itself. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how was that? Did that? I mean, it's a lot of you guys had a lot of eyes on you.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't
Ability.
heard anything out of that, but I just got that email late last week with the music video and stuff. So I think it's cool. I think, anytime you can educate somebody on what community media is, I think that's really important. So this was an international language teacher that has 170,000 followers on her YouTube channel, and she gave us a shout out because she was one of the actresses on the music video. So
Oh wow!
Yeah.
That's really cool.
yeah.
I guess the only other things that really stood out is you have the server installation scheduled for August 11th.
Yes.
Do you have anything that you think might disrupt, like anything else that you guys have going on with that being installed?
No. This is the server that we're talking about is our media share. So what that is the place that all of our editing computers and our playback systems and studio are all connected to this space so that you can pull content from that or store your content. So that's what this piece is.
Gotcha.
It's a
Okay,
standalone.
so it's not gonna, with any recordings or anything that you guys have going
No,
on. That's not gonna
we'll
disrupt
work
anything.
around that. I have James helping to lead the project just to make sure that we're not losing stuff that we shouldn't, but also working with our producers to clean up the old ones so we're not transferring tons of old stuff. So James and I are working through the process with the engineer, and I think it'll be pretty seamless. I'm very glad to have been able to do this as quickly as we have, because it really just pairs extremely nicely with our new playback system. So it's gonna automate a lot of things. It's gonna help. We'll be able to finally update our editing computers, because we haven't been able to do that with the current media share. So it's really about updating our technology for today's needs. So.
Right. No, I really enjoyed reading that and the universal participation and accessibility plan that you put together. I was reading through that. I really liked it just because we had our event at the Pride at the park, and just hearing what everyone was talking about there and just getting like feedback, talking to people. It's interesting to hear how they think it's like government when we're at UMA. So I think it's important for them to know that UMA's identity is independent.
Yes.
And community centered as a nonprofit. So this reinforces our the commitment to access, equity, and storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
So I loved how it was put together. It aligns with the strategic goals that you have and the public narrative that is already set in place. So I love reading through it. I think it's great. Other than that, let me see what else. The legislative advocacy that it reached a record support of 118 co-sponsors.
Yeah.
That was great. Because I know it's still pending, right?
No,
That part is correct.
that part is not. It was not included in the economic bill. But we
Okay.
still have the two bills, the House and the Senate bills, out there. Excuse me, out there. So we can still push something through at some point. Yeah, but
Okay.
yeah,
This
There were a
was-
lot
this
of
was-
there was a lot of support for sure.
ton. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
This was trying to earmark it onto a bigger bill that,
So it was an
Could've gone to-
amendment. Yeah. So it was
Yeah.
listed as an amendment, and there were like 700 amendments,
you know,
and our amendment had by far the most co-sponsors.
highest.
Yeah.
so how many did it need to get on there?
I didn't watch the legislative session, so I'm not sure
Yeah,
exactly
I'm
what
just curious.
happened. But
If it was the largest, then no amendments got on?
I really don't know. I couldn't tell you. I wanted to just talk about the win, honestly,
Yeah.
because it sucks that it didn't go through.
Yeah,
And yes, I definitely want to know the why. But I think the call to action and the rise to action was phenomenal. So, yeah.
it's definitely good, but we gotta be real
Right.
and figure out
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
Like why, if that was the largest,
Well, I
why
think it's
couldn't it-
because
I don't understand.
everyone scrambled to put an amendment, and I think a lot
Yeah.
of the amendments just got slashed.
Yeah, I think that's not what they kind of do, unfortunately.
That's just legislation.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I don't think it really had anything to do with the bill, but it has a lot of people talking on the Hill right now,
Yeah,
right?
that's good.
So
Well,
that's a good thing.
But they're going into recess, so hopefully they can
Yep. So we're
start it up again.
and there's a plan for that.
Okay,
so,
cool. Good.
Through mass access. Yep.
Awesome.
Hilda, thank you for bringing up the up plan. I call it the up plan because there's a lot of words in there. It's universal participation and accessibility plan. I'm really, really proud of this piece. It's not done, but it really was probably the highlight of my week last week was writing this because the ask was from our grant funder to provide a report of what we're doing with accessibility and provide an accessibility plan. And I thought about this and I thought, I don't want to write an accessibility plan. I don't want us to have a checklist of things we need to do to be accessible. My goal is for this organization to continuously always be thinking about universal participation. How can we be as accessible as possible? Because that's literally what our organization is, right? Providing space and opportunities for voices to be heard, and we don't want to be putting up any kind of barriers for anyone. Now, we're not going to be able to hit every single thing, but it should be a core part of our planning and everything we do. How is this going to, what barriers are going to be put up for this particular thing that we're going to do? So the plan that I wrote, if you haven't had an opportunity to read it yet, was more about a philosophy and a core belief rather than a checklist of things that need to be done. So it is something that I do intend to bring to the board as our official plan. But I wanted you to have an opportunity to just see it and see what my thought process was. I haven't even shared it with the entire team yet, because again, I just had to get it submitted by last Thursday, so yeah.
The only other thing is, how are we doing on the other youth workshop programs?
Unfortunately, we have not had, we had to cancel next week's. We didn't get any signups for that one. And we have had no additional signups. So there's one for each remaining session in August. The first session, the attendee was offered to attend last week's. They weren't able to do it, so they are aware that there was only one sign up, and I will be reaching out to the 14 to 17-year-old group about 2 weeks prior to the workshop to just advise them that it might not happen either. I feel like we've done a really great job of putting it out on social media, being out in the public with it, the posters. Like, I don't know how much more we can actually do.
And when did we start? Do you know when we officially started promoting?
February.
February?
Yeah.
Well, you said some video was done of the kids that
Yeah.
were there. Students.
So I'm gonna work with Aaliyah next week, and see if we can't push them out
Yeah,
to get
just
some
some short
engagement.
clip, that might encourage.
But we are, if we don't get signups by noon the Monday before the start, we cancel it. Like, the sale ends
Sure.
for that, because
Right.
we just can't,
That's one person, it's awkward.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
yeah, well, it just wouldn't,
It's not really
it wouldn't be the
everyone's
experience
time.
we
Not the
were trying to do.
recording,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Part of it is working with
Yeah.
each other. and-
So we
Right.
do require at least 3 participants per workshop, and plus it's, financially,
Right,
Mhm.
that's true.
we're already losing money on these, so
Right.
trying to get some of that back, so, yeah.
The final product, at least for this group that went, I know in years, or at least last year, I won't say years past, it's not like it's been
Last year was
going
the first year.
on. Right, so we did it at the year end, kind of, not year end, but our kind of
Annual meeting. Yep.
Mhm.
Would that be a similar plan, or are you gonna?
I think
show
that's
it
our
at some other time?
intention.
Okay.
Yeah, that's our intention. I think it was really fun. I
Yeah.
think it was, we got way more eyeballs on the videos in the premiere. Like, I think hopefully as we continue to do these, that will become sort of a part of our
Annual. Okay.
annual meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious on that.
Mhm.
I know John and I and James in the back recorded the Malden High video. I didn't know it was there till like a few weeks later. And maybe that's on me. I was Googling and I could see every other year, on the UMA, not the UMA, it's the Malden Access Television.
MATV, yeah.
Yeah, MATV, icon on YouTube, and I could get prior year graduations, but I don't know, for whatever reason, 2026 wasn't there, and then I found it 2 weeks later. I shared it with people who had reached out to me,
So,
but, yeah,
so the priority for all of our programming is to get it on our channel.
right,
We don't prioritize getting it on the streaming, so YouTube, because we
Right.
don't get funding to put it on YouTube,
okay,
right? So we get to it when we can.
right,
And
But
we
even-
we understand that
Okay.
there's a strong need for it, but we don't get paid to put stuff on YouTube. So we gotta,
but it
Yeah.
was somewhere, and just, a post on UMA would have been nice, even on the Facebook page, hey, this is, right, I didn't see it if it was, maybe it was, and I just didn't see it, but just some sort of hey, this is ready, or if you missed graduation, or you wanna replay, I don't know, I just know I was asked privately, and that's fine, and then I forget even how I saw it, but it was 2 weeks after the
Yeah.
fact.
Every
I could
year
tell it was
it's
posted.
frequently asked
So.
when it's gonna be available.
Yeah.
Don't you guys doesn't UMA have a channel listing of their shows that are playing?
we do have a program feed, I think it's on our, I would have, these are questions that I need to ask James and
Right.
Aaliyah. We have 2 staff members right now that are primarily responsible for our broadcast channels and our streaming channels.
Right.
There's a lot on their plates right now. So
That's fine. I'm just saying for next year.
I
that's
put the
all.
stand that the last thing that needs attention is our streaming. And I know that's probably hurting us right now. We don't get paid to stream. So, but I will bring that feedback back to the team, and it is a good idea when things go up on YouTube or even on our channel to
Right.
let's say tune into channel blah blah blah. It's a
Right.
good way to
Yeah.
promote our cable
Right,
channel.
yeah.
So I will bring
Thank
that
you.
feedback to the
Sorry,
team.
I wasn't-
I understand.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying,
Yeah.
and I get it.
Yeah.
Now, once and if we start putting stuff on our video on demand and we have a paid subscription service to that, that'll change, right? So then we're going to be promoting everything.
Right, right,
But right now, I got to prioritize things.
right.
Yep. So the request for graduation started way before you were involved. Every year going back.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a
It's a
listen,
standard
graduation
thing, yeah.
and prom are standard
Yeah.
in this,
Yeah.
or in this, what's it?
Most cities.
Path that I'm
Yeah.
in, across the nation. Like, you do graduation and prom,
Yeah.
right? And normally we, you know, most places I've ever worked at, we have a huge sports coverage too, which is something that I want to grow here at UMA, but anyways, so let me note this so that I don't forget.
And I know I missed the June meeting, but I did enjoy recording with both James and John here, so.
We got a little spot on the agenda for
fun.
post events
It's
report.
fun to watch
What am I
the
saying to the team?
graduation.
Oh, social media about programming.
Thank you. Sorry, not quite the ED report,
don't-
but.
Don't apologize.
No.
Fine.
No, I think it's important because it's a huge swath of the community that is engaging with that.
Yeah.
And I know we don't get paid, but it'll pay off. If you look at it that way, I think it'll pay off because people are interacting with us more. And if
Okay.
there's a way to, incorporate an UMA logo and an UMA channel and an UMA this or that,
Right. No,
it all helps.
I absolutely know the value of having it streaming and promoting it. I do. There's a bandwidth issue
Yeah.
right now. So.
Yeah.
I also want to add the people that reached out to me. I don't know them. Like they were random human beings reaching out to me on Facebook, which is great, like that they did that and like where is it, and that there's a whole bunch of people I don't know, right?
Mhm.
So
I had someone ask me as well.
So
that
yeah.
Their kid graduated. I was like,
So, you can do much like I did in my server days. That's a great question. Let me find out for
Right.
you.
Yeah.
Right? And so if somebody had emailed me and said, hey, I've got a bunch of people
Right.
asking for the link to the graduation,
Right.
I could have tracked that down and figured out why I wasn't on yet. Like, so.
Yeah. No, I.
So
could've
this is
reached out.
exactly what I'm
But
talking
I-
about, being
but I
being
guess
the eyes and the ears out in the community
Right.
for us. I won't know that. Nobody called me and asked
Right.
me where it was, right?
Right.
So,
But I just assumed because I could see previous years in one location
Mm-hmm.
that 2026 would be in the same location as
Yes,
well.
and it would,
that's what
yeah.
was my logical thinking. I'll look. I won't put this on Tina. I know we're short staffed.
Right.
I made the assumption I could find it.
So
That's
when you
all.
went in and didn't find it,
Yeah.
then that's when you,
Okay.
and that's the work that I want you to do.
Right,
I want
okay.
you to go find it
Right.
and tell them. But if you can't find it, then you email me like you
Okay.
have with the school board meetings, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Because I don't pay
Yeah.
attention to what's on our YouTube
Yeah,
and what's
that's
not
fine.
right,
Right,
now,
right.
right?
Okay, okay. Thank you.
I'm writing universal participation plans.
Right.
So, yeah. All right. What else? Any other questions on the? I want to highlight that we did get our $30,000 payment from MAPC for the year-long project we did with them. So that has been put into the bank account. Year end is done. Auditor has been in touch. Yeah.
Anything else? Anybody?
I just really like the sentence and the kids, because full disclosure, if anybody's watching, one of the kids was mine, and the oversharing part, because that's totally him, so, sorry. Made me snap.
Love it.
All right,
Thank you.
let's move on. Good segue.
Good
Eden.
segue. So, the finance
Finance.
report, so I included a few things in the email. The first one was, I don't know if we need to vote on it, but the Urban Media Arts Contingency Reserve Policy. So it gives the ED, which is Tina, the right to take $5,000 or and make a educational choice, right, in terms of finding something with a good rate.
I have identified something. I will share it with you
Okay.
because the wording says that you and I have to agree on.
Okay. So, and then I can go through it, it kind of goes over the purpose, right, to provide financial stability during unexpected revenue shortfalls, right, and if we have extra money, why not get a better rate? Funding, the contingency reserve fund will begin with an initial deposit of $5,000, will be built over time as the organized financial position allows. Use, the reserve shall be managed in accordance with Women's accounting policies and procedures. We will be notified, in the board of directors next regular meeting, right, if there were, any use of the funds, right? And then reporting, like they'll be included in the monthly budget versus actual finance, and then, you know, the goal is to build a long-term reserve. And then the recommendation is at the bottom, authorize the executive director to establish a separate interest-bearing contingency reserve fund at a financial institution selected by the executive director, which is Tina, and treasurer, which is myself, with an initial deposit of $5,000, consistent with UMA's financial policies and the contingency reserve policy.
Is there a plan on when this could happen?
I have to have an official board vote to authorize me to begin the process.
Okay,
Can we do that now?
it's to be put on the agenda, right?
It's coming out of the finance
That's a report.
report. You can have motions coming out of there.
Okay,
So I can make a motion if that's helpful to, you know, authorize the executive director to establish a separate interest-bearing contingency reserve fund at a financial institution, and Tina and I can talk on what makes sense, or if she has ideas, and I can, you know,
yep,
search
My
as well.
suggestion is to word the motion as the recommendation is,
Okay.
for official record.
Okay,
So there is currently a motion on the floor.
so a motion to authorize, do
Wait,
you want me to?
you
okay.
already started a
Okay.
motion, so you either have to withdraw that motion
So I'll withdraw the motion.
or amend, or, is it amend it?
I think
Sorry,
withdraw it and start.
Withdraw it, and then I'm gonna take the recommendation and make it a motion, so authorize the executive director to establish a separate interest-bearing contingency reserve fund at a financial institution selected by the executive director and treasurer with an initial deposit of $5,000, consistent with UMA's financial policies and the contingency reserve policy.
And this
Aye.
motion is all based on Urban Media Arts Contingency Reserve Policy document that you provided.
Right.
Is this something you could write down? I couldn't
Yeah, you
get all
can
that.
copy and paste out of my Word document. I sent
Okay,
it
just
to
send it to
you.
you. Okay.
Yeah. So,
I second that motion.
All right, let's take a vote. Should we do
Roll
it
call.
individually?
Yeah.
Roll call?
Yeah.
Hold on
Clerk?
1 second. Okay. Hilda,
Aye.
Jenny,
Aye.
Eden,
yes?
John,
Yes?
and I'm a yes.
Okay.
Okay. So we're starting a contingency. Excellent.
Woohoo!
So you've done the recommendation. I guess we should have identified if we're going to adopt the policy as well. Or should it be amended into the accounting policies and practices?
I would think it should be amended into the accounting and policies practices.
So,
And then I attached other reports. I gave the fiscal year, like the past year, cause it ends 6/30. So the statement of cash flows was provided. I'll bring it up now. You know, you can, you know, it says cash at end of period, 110K. But that's just July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026, which is the fiscal year, because it ends June 30th. And then I tried to provide what I normally provide, which is in the email also provided, if I can go back, like the cash balances in our accounts. Both the June, which I know I missed that meeting, so it's from June 16th, 2026. And then I provided like today's, which is July 16th, if I can think, 2026 as well. So you can compare and contrast the balances, like total for bank accounts right now is sitting at 114,000. Whereas if I go to June, it was 130,000, just to be clear. So, and you can see like, you know, each bank account listed out. It's why I do that, so.
I also provided a year-end budget versus actual document, and I ran a budget versus actual this morning, for the fiscal year last year. And it's spot on with the report that you received, so, we were pretty good, in most areas.
Anything else you wanna add, Eden? Or
No.
any questions about it? Sorry.
Okay.
All right. Let's move on then.
Subcommittee reports is next if you're looking
Thank
for
you.
it at number 6.
Subcommittee reports.
Oh, no, that's
Okay.
subcommittees.
I printed it. I don't have one, I'm development.
You are development.
And I know, is that my phone now?
No.
Sorry,
System.
I know there was a plan to meet and then no one could meet, and that's fine, that happens. And then unfortunately, I think the backup plan was to meet before the June meeting, and obviously I did not make that meeting. So I need to follow up, and obviously I'll reach out to Felicia and see how she's doing, if she's comfortable with continuing this. I know she might have more on her plate right now. But I will check in first and move forward with that in terms of doing, I think we were just gonna have a virtual meeting was the plan originally, so I'm trying to find out what
If
works
she's
for her.
not able to make it, I will step in.
Okay, that's fine,
in,
I'll follow
in
up
her
with her, yeah.
absence. But my hope is that she will be like a co-chair of that
Okay,
committee.
right, I know
You
that.
that makes sense to me.
Right,
so,
yeah, so,
yeah.
Neighborhood view,
that
no,
was an
Ann,
update. That was in the. Sorry.
yes. Ann is in the process of hiring an editor. She's interviewed people, and that should be happening soon. I don't know if you have.
I haven't
Okay.
talked to her.
Yeah. That's where that's at. Any other subcommittee reports?
Well, she did submit a separate report too, as what's
Yes.
happening. We did
Yes.
sign a 6-month contract with Anne to contract her as the coordinator for Neighborhood View, which is up from the 3 months that we were renewing. And we'll revisit again at the end of the year. So now that we do have funds available in the line item for Neighborhood View, we are able to provide a small stipend for that coordinator position, and we'll continue to work on building funds for that program.
I thought it was an interesting update that she provided.
Everything's interesting.
It is. Well, I mean, like I didn't know about the whole, I mean, there were specifics, and I don't know if we want to go down that rabbit hole due to time, but like the Ron Cox kind of, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. For lack of better word.
Yeah, that one I didn't know about until I read it.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah.
That's because you all need to be on Neighborhood View. Are you not
I see
subscribing?
most of the stuff.
I see the posts. I
If
don't
you
know.
subscribe, you should get a notification that
Okay.
there's a new story.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the only one that I didn't remember, like the follow-up.
Yeah. It was fun to read.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to comment on the subcommittees. So I had asked at the last meeting, where's the list of who's on what committee, who's chairing. Lori sent me the March 19th meeting minutes, which is where we identified who was doing what. So I printed out that section. So everyone should know who they're a chair of. And if we need to, we can revisit, or who they're a part of. Hilda, I'll get this to you. I didn't email it out beforehand. But that looks like the one that you're on the nominating committee, Hilda. That's the only one I have your name on. So, and Emmanuel's the chair of that. So,
But when is he coming back in terms of working on that?
do you know when he's planning to come back?
He told me but he finishes up next month, so I don't know if
Probably
he'll be with
September.
us next month or in August or September.
Sometime
One of
soon,
the other.
hopefully. Yeah.
So should we try to reach out or just wait?
I would talk to your,
I'll reach out
Vice
to him
Chair,
again,
okay.
cause I owe him an email.
And
anyway.
I'd like to talk offline. I know somebody that, at least interested, I explained that the meetings were after, cause I'm on Fugi as well. And those meetings are the third Wednesday, and I was like, hey, you know, we're the next night if you want to come and join and at least listen, and he did, cause he's like, that's good, that's a good way for me to remember, he's not here tonight, but I would be helpful if I like provided follow-up. I don't know if he could join via like virtual just to like see what goes on.
absolutely,
Okay.
or you can send him, all of our board
Okay.
meetings are on
On
YouTube,
YouTube,
so you
okay.
can send him a link to
Right.
the playlist and he can
Right.
watch anyone he
So,
wants.
Cause it's just somebody I know I have that,
Well, that's a great tool for
So-
any of you that if you're talking to a community member
Right.
and they're asking, well, what's it really like?
right,
Oh, we actually have all our meetings on YouTube, so
Right.
here's the link, you
Okay.
know? So it's on the UMA
right.
YouTube page.
Okay.
I know that the Malden Disability Commission had planned on appointing somebody at their meeting this month to our board, but I have not heard anything. I usually tend to be a little lenient in the summer because things are craziness, so I'm gonna be reaching out next week. I think they're meeting this week. I think they meet the same week we do or the week before, so we'll find out.
Great. All right, any other subcommittee? Okay.
Do we need an executive committee? I mean, I know Emmanuel's not here. Is there any reason why we need to? I'm just looking at the
I think
committees.
We've been using that more like, I think for contract stuff.
Yeah,
Executive committee is a standing committee.
right.
It's basically it's the
Okay,
officers
so we
of the
don't,
board.
wouldn't meet quarterly just to meet quarterly or, you know.
I'm not saying that's a bad idea.
I don't know. That's fine. I'm just looking at the list.
All right, moving on.
Okay.
Old business. Any strategy plan updates?
Maybe a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just a little bit. So you all should have this handout in front of you. I'm really excited about this because the request at the last board meeting was to make it more visual with more metrics. So I really think that this accomplished it. I'm kind of giving myself a pat on the back on this one. But this will be how we check in on a quarterly basis now on our strategic plan process. Right? James, if you wouldn't mind bringing up the first slide for me, we're gonna walk through this page by page.
Do you want it in here?
Everybody has it in front of them. Okay. So our first slide is basically a snapshot of where we are 6 months into our first year of our strategic plan. And as it says, it's the mid-year review. The following scorecard summarizes progress toward the year 1 2026 objectives contained within UMA's 2026-2028 strategic plan. So as you can see, for the first year, we're at 90% completion already of most of our capital and technology goal sets. Education and workforce is at 30%. Fund development is sitting around 70%. Governance is around 30%, and community partnerships is high as well at 90%. So a little asterisk here is completion percentages represent the executive director's assessment of progress towards year 1, strategic objectives as the mid-year review, right? So I'm just curious, as board members, before we go dive deep into each one of these, what's your initial thoughts on that scorecard?
I like it. It reminds me a lot of what the MCAS used to be. And I sat through a meeting. No, not MCAS, it was one of the standardized testing that everyone had to take.
Yeah.
And they had this big thing and they were going over, do you want colors? Do you want it to be in squares, triangles? And after doing all that, they changed it, the test.
Yeah, they tend to do that, right?
The park. But
Yeah, that was when it was, I think,
Sorry.
MCAS to PAC and back to MCAS and
I
PAC
shouldn't have said
to.
anything, but yeah.
As far as,
I think this is good. It
Yeah.
lays it all out visually. and it
Visually,
helps.
yeah.
Yeah. Does it help you?
I guess I'm gonna re-ask my question. So when you glance at this, what does this tell you about our strategic plan right now?
That we need work in governance and education and workforce.
Fantastic. What about you?
Yes.
Same?
Oh, yeah.
I circled them.
Did you circle them? Hilda, what did you think of the scorecard? We're just talking about the first page.
I think it translates the work that's being done into like digestible pieces. You know, you can see like little summaries of kind of what's going on, so it's a very good visual. I think it just helps people understand without needing a very long explanation of what's going on.
Yeah, you-
100% what she just said.
Yeah, you can see the areas that have more progress and the ones that need more attention.
Exactly.
Yeah, like it's just, you know, it's kind of like grading, you know,
Mhm.
kind of like what Lori, like you were saying, it reminds me of the MCAS. It's kind of
Yeah.
like a progress report of kind of where we're
Yeah.
at. So it's a good visual.
Fantastic. Well, that was my intention. My intention is exactly what Hilda said. I wanted you to know exactly where we were sitting at that moment, without having to go into a ton of detail. So,
It's good transparency.
thank you. So we're going to move to the second page. And this just kind of breaks it down by area, right? By our priorities, right? So the first one, we talked about capital and technology is at 90%. And the reason it's at 90% is because we've pretty much done everything on our list for this year that we wanted to, for this year that we wanted to accomplish, outside of identifying what's next for capital expenditures and finalizing a few projects that we've got in the works now, like the media share and the network server, right?
Is your plan to do this quarterly then?
Yes.
Okay. So you're calling this a mid-year review. Can we call it quarter two? Can we just keep it consistent so that there's...
So it's not gonna be consistent the first year because there wasn't a first quarter review. So this is gonna be the mid-year and then there will be a third quarter review.
Okay.
Because first quarter doesn't exist. This is first and second quarter.
Okay.
I mean, I could call it first and second quarter review if you want. But.
I just want it to be like consistent. So
I
that when
understand
we
what you're saying.
We go back to look at it, we understand what quarter we're looking at as
Yeah.
opposed to...
We could talk about
Mid-year.
renaming it something that would
And
identify
that's
the reason why it's not, you know, has.
minor, but in looking back at things, it's nice to
Sure.
understand that. Anyway.
So I wanted to open the floor for any questions on this first one on capital and technology. Want to make sure that everybody is on the same page about where we're at with this strategic priority.
I guess my only question is like with the playback system, did we know about that before it? I feel like maybe we knew and then it went sideways and it needed to be corrected like ASAP. I would consider that a capital and technology. Do you think there are more things that we're not aware of that could go sideways like that?
Not after a tech audit. We have,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, I mean, we did do it. You basically had a plan already of technology and what will most likely need to be replaced, and not as far as large items, if I recall. So anything unplanned, I would assume, would be fairly small.
And this was part of 26
Yes.
plan. We've got other capital and technology in the next few years.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So,
Yeah. So to answer your question, when we started the strategic plan, we had our technical audit that got done last fall. We have now developed a 5-year capital improvements plan for the city of Malden to advocate for capital funding through the cable franchise negotiations. And we also have a 10-year capital improvements plan that allows us to stretch those large capital projects out. The last piece that we're putting into effect this year as well is the systems replacement plan that we got the grant for Mass Cultural Council. And that plan will provide us with a forecast of when we need to replace things like our HVAC system or update our electric and stuff like that. So we will have a well-rounded roadmap for the future. So, yeah. All right, if you're comfortable, we'll move on to the next page, which is this education and workforce. Now, I put this low because we have not launched the internship program. We've not really started planning for the after-school program. We did not fill the youth workshop sessions all summer. I think last week's work session was great, and I'm glad that we had the opportunity to do it. I would like to do these again, but as far as priorities goes, this one has fallen to the bottom of our priority list. And I'm not concerned about that, but I know that there is a very strong push from our community and from board members for us to be much more actively involved with the youth. But again, this year is a foundation builder, right? So we're building policies and procedures and foundations to how we're going to do this, and we're building an internship program, we're building an after-school program. So year one was all about foundational building, so I'm not stressed that number is so low. I would have liked to seen it get higher, but I understand the realities of our workday too. So
Yeah, I think that's understandable given that, again, right now you've got quite the skeleton staff that's already maxed out, and you're still, building the foundation, learning everything, creating it,
I just hope we can build off of it, you know?
Thus the foundation.
Yeah, right. But I just hope we can build the first level.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think it's reasonable, right, to start out at 30. I guess I have two concerns, or I don't know how to phrase it. But my first one was when you said earlier in this meeting, I get if there's only one kid signed up, like, that's a loss. But, like, I don't see, or maybe, and it might be a fault of mine, but the first week where you did have 4 kids or 3 kids or some amount of children, and we have paid staff who were helping, and it was, I think the wording was used as a loss, but I'm like, but I get that, like, your time is allocated differently that week, and you're not able to accomplish what you normally do. But I wasn't a fan of using the word loss, because I'm like, we didn't hire any outside people. I mean, did we buy snack? Like, where was the loss in that week? Because I just don't know that that's how it should be.
I was speaking strictly from financial numbers, not
but even that,
non-money.
right. But you were going to pay your salaries anyway. Like, where was the loss, like, in a dollar? I mean, I get time was lost. Like, you weren't able to work on other things that you would normally would.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of, like, dollar value, like, those salaries would have been paid to yourself, James, and Aaliyah, and Felicia.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know who was helping, but, right, no matter what. Like,
So I take the 2 staff members that we appoint to these, and I take their hourly pay, and I do that for the time that the youth are here for the workshop. And I compare that to the value that we're bringing in for those workshops. Because the initial reason for these workshops was, yes, to provide youth with something to do here.
right,
But the big push was for financial diversification.
right.
So we're only in year 2 of that, and that financial diversification is falling.
Okay.
So that's where that came
Okay.
from. It
Okay.
wasn't, I'm not saying it wasn't valuable.
Oh, right,
I'm not saying that.
right, okay,
I'm talking purely financial standpoint.
okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. And anyone else on the youth? So next steps is to continue to develop the internship and apprenticeship program framework, expand our partnerships with local schools, workforce organizations, and higher education institutions, and evaluate and refine the youth workshops curriculum based on our participants' feedback, and begin planning additional educational programming and workforce development opportunities for 2027. Now, the after-school program has not fallen off my list. I just didn't put it on here. And I purposely left this a little vague because there's still a lot of framework to be done for these programs, so. All right. So we're gonna move on to the next page, which is fund development. I listed this at 70%, primarily because the customer relations management software system that we invested in, we've had it for 6 months and we still have not launched it, which we're still working on. It's a lot of data. It's combining a lot of our systems into one. So it's a much larger project than I think I initially anticipated. We've got a volunteer, Felicia, and myself working on this project. Otherwise, I think fund development probably would have been closer to 90% with what we've accomplished this year. So, any questions on fund development?
No questions, but I have some comments.
Oh, okay. Comments are welcome.
Okay, so fund development is one of the strongest areas. Diversified revenue is increasing, so great. The grant shows UMA is seen as credible and high impact. Neighborhood View has been doing great. Even when we were at the event, they loved the fact that Neighborhood View was coming back. And the CRM adoption, it's only going to strengthen donor management and prepare for individual giving. So I think those are all good things for that.
Great. Thank you.
When do you think the CRM implementation will be fully?
Before before year end. But we're taking all of the data from our systems on our back end of our website that take all of our donations and subscriptions and all of that, and we're converting those over into the CRM. And then we're also taking all of our information from our member software, RuShare, and getting that into there, and they don't talk to each other. Right. So it's like, we don't want to just dump everything in and then be dealing with the exact same thing we're dealing with now, with trying to untangle it all. So we're trying to be very intentional about how we build this out. Mm-hmm. And the company's been fantastic. It's just Felicia's been handling this project, a lot of it on her own. But now our volunteer and myself are dedicating some time to it to get it done. So.
Cool.
Anyone else? Questions, comments on fund development? Our next steps are going to be to complete the CRM implementation and staff adaptation into daily workflow, develop the framework for UMA's individual giving program, continue pursuing operating capital and programmatic grant opportunities, and expand corporate sponsorships and community partnership opportunities to further diversify revenue. So governance is the next page. So when I think about governance, I think about the things that this board needs to accomplish. I don't think about the city of Malden, and I don't think about legislative issues. Governance to me and our strategic plan means the work that the board itself needs to accomplish. And we haven't been able to really check things off our list. And we're 6 months into the strategic year. So I felt it was really important for this board to see where I'm evaluating that priority and really spend some time having a conversation about why it looks like that. Right? So first, I'll open it up for questions or comments with what I wrote.
rather you go through it. And
Okay.
Then we can have
All right, let's.
questions.
Okay, so we'll talk about my executive director highlight first, right? The first half of year one focused on strengthening the foundation for board governance through strategic planning, governance work sessions, and the identification of key priorities. As we move into the second half of the year, success will depend less on planning and more on implementation. Activating board committees, recruiting new members, and advancing board-led initiatives will be essential to achieving our year one governance objectives, right? So what we did get done this year, we completed 2 board governance work sessions to establish our year one priorities. We identified board committee structure and community leadership. We developed board recruitment materials to support future recruitment efforts. And we began strengthening governance practices through strategic planning and board engagement. You know, you think back to those 2 meetings we had at the first of the year, I think that's really what pulled us together as a team, honestly. Getting on the same page about where we're going and what we're doing. And I've seen each and every one of you doing the work this year. Not that it hasn't been done in the past, but it really, really feeling like a part of it. And that really made me dive even deeper into this. Like I'm all in, right? What I see as next steps is we need to, obviously we've talked about it, we need to recruit and onboard new board members. We need to activate board committees through regular meetings and defined work plans. That's a terminology we haven't used yet. We need to develop a comprehensive board orientation and onboarding program, something we've talked about quite a bit. I think it's time to start producing those items. And then increase board ownership of strategic initiatives, fundraising, advocacy, and community engagement. So.
I mean, this all makes sense to me. I mean, yeah, we're 30%. We all know that. We don't have board members. We need board members.
Right.
We need board members before we do anything. And, you know, before we activate subcommittees and all that, we
Right.
need board members. We
Right.
need people. So anybody, you mentioned somebody.
I did. Yeah.
Disability has somebody. If there's, you know, if we can get somebody, a youth person, I love that idea. So, I mean, yeah, we got to do it. And that's on us, for sure. Well,
Yeah, maybe we don't even deserve 30%.
yeah. It should be
Seriously.
20 probably. Yeah. You're being generous.
Honestly, 15 of that is the engagement alone, right? Like, yeah, I know that you're all in on this. I know you see it. But the conundrum becomes, okay, we need more board members, but we don't have an orientation packlet. We didn't even have a recruitment tool until you drafted something.
I know, but we've gotten a lot of members without any orientation. So, yes, we do need that, but we need members first.
Sure.
We need members. We need to have them understand what we're doing here and stuff. But I think all the admin stuff is secondary to me. It's bodies, it's people with ideas and that sort of thing. And then we can get the orientation and all that stuff down.
Sure.
That's how I feel anyway.
Okay.
Bodies.
Understand.
Help.
I definitely think having more people will make it possible to do a lot more.
Yes. There's
Yeah.
that too. So how is that accomplished in the next 6 months?
We just need to get out there.
Well, maybe, do we need Emmanuel's chair and he's gone for 2 months, so can we really afford to wait, right? Is also my question. Or, I guess you don't need him per se. It's not like we couldn't all recruit.
Right.
Well,
think
technically,
that's-
the nominating committee would want to onboard anybody from the Disability Commission if the person that
Right.
you found interested.
Yeah.
They still, like we said in our last meeting, which you missed, they still should go through the nominating committee whether they're volunteering to do it or not. It's just a process for our board. Because then they're gonna get the packet with the email address and all of that stuff too. So, you know. But yeah, I don't know if it's, you're as a group are gonna go out in the community and hey, you gotta go talk to these 5 people. Like you have to identify what that looks like.
Yeah.
But the goal was 2 to 4 new board members before the end of the year. I brought somebody on from the Disability Commission. You may have
I
somebody
might have
interested.
someone, yeah.
We still need more people.
Right.
I talk to people all the time about being a board member. All the time. I talk to them all the time about being a subcommittee member.
And you know, Hilda and I have talked to them at whatever the
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 events.
YMCA.
the events.
The
Yeah,
volunteer fair.
yeah, the volunteer
Yeah.
fair. Yeah, I mean, we talk to people, they seem engaged, and then nothing happens. So I think we just have to keep at it. I find the events to be really good. I mean, we definitely talked to a lot of people that seemed interested. So it's a matter of, you know, getting them in somehow. Like you said, you know, you can go on YouTube and you can check out the meetings. You can, you know, come to a meeting, just try it out. You know, don't, you know, no pressure, just kind of experience it first and then decide. But we haven't even gotten there, so I think we need to just do it any way we can.
When's the next meet? Well, we can talk about that later. I will make sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll come. They will eventually. But there is some positives though, and I mean I know the percentage is low, but we've had a lot of work sessions that we've completed. I know we're not the only nonprofit that's, you know, going through all things right now. We have our committees, they're structured. The need for activation is definitely needed and onboarding, but I really do think that we're building that framework so everything that's being done right now at UMA can stand on its own 2 feet later, you know. So I think gradually we will get the help that we need. It's just time and place. I think it'll happen though.
Yeah, I do too.
I hope so.
Let's make it happen.
I honestly, it just, anything that sounds like work, I think anybody will kind of raise an eyebrow. We just need to find the right groups that have the time for this, you know, and have the bandwidth to be able to help with this. So I think they're definitely out there. We just have to right fundraising event or right meeting, whatever it is. I think we'll find the right people we're looking for eventually.
Yeah. And that, you know, that's a great point in thinking that, okay, so we all know what our strategic plan is. If you go back and you look at that, you know, okay, this year's foundation building, but next year we're like launching a bunch of stuff. We're going to have the internship and the apprenticeship program, after school program, hopefully beefing out our youth workshops. We're going to be, you know, trying to do a lot more community engagement. So, you know, being that salesperson to spin that in there too, so it's not all work and doing all that. Yeah, right now we're building our foundations and our framework to get all this really exciting stuff coming out of the gate, you know. People want to be activated into projects, right? Like they want to be excited, much like you wanted to be excited when we started those work sessions at the early part of the year. And I asked you, how are you going to connect to this? And you, each and every one of you, found a way to connect to every one of those priorities and engage yourself. The same thing will happen when you're bringing people onto this board. How do we get them to connect to our mission and our values, right?
But I think we're close, Tina, because once you move into the next section of your cards, that shows and it solidifies why I think we're getting very close to it, because the community itself is absorbing what Luma's doing.
Yep. Absolutely.
You know, because it's going up and down right now, but I really do think we can get all of these numbers up where they need to be.
That's a fantastic segue. Thank you.
Yes.
Not for nothing, because we are at a low right now in the governance, but like right into your next scorecard, we're at a 90.
Right.
You know, so I really do. I try to be optimistic about it and positive, and not for nothing, there was some meetings where it was, you know, pretty low, and we're trying to figure out how things were gonna push through, but it's pushing through with or without the cable funding that you guys were receiving before.
Right.
It's happening. It's just
Yeah.
very messy outside. right now.
That's the world we live in right now.
It was yellow for 3 days.
I know. It's still yellow.
Well, thank you for that segue. So we're on the community partnership scorecard, and yeah, we are in a 90% because man, oh man, have we done some relationship building, right? We're part of the TDI major project, major thing. We did just finish a multi tens of thousands dollar project with MAPC. We're connected with Community Connections, Malden Community Connections, and other local organizations. The CCC, GMAC. The CCC just reached out to us to broadcast their Senate seat coverage next month. You know, we're one of the first phone calls. That has not historically been the case. So we're building those relationships. We're getting people to go, oh, I got to get a hold of UMA, right? Like, this is the first thing I do. I just got an email from the grant writer from the city, Rebecca. I got to get UMA in on this. MICEP, got to get UMA in on this, right? So all these community partners that are large community partners are reaching out to us. And that awareness and that involvement is only going to build when more and more people get activated. So, yeah. Any comments or questions on this scorecard?
What does TDI stand for? I probably should.
Transformative Development Initiative.
Okay, thank you.
Well, and then you know, like, not just locally, but our legislative outreach, right? Hitting record numbers in co-sponsors supporting community media. I think we're gonna see some action. I'm just, you know, predicting it myself personally, but I think we will see some legislative action within the next 2 sessions on community media. I think people are really understanding that this is a resource they cannot lose. They can't afford to lose it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's happening. So moving forward, we're going to continue strengthening our partnerships that advance UMA's strategic priorities and community impact. And I'm really interested to circle back to the things that Hilda was saying from what she learned in the workshops that she attended, because they talked about, I don't remember the terminology you used, but they talked about some type of partnership where it wasn't draining you, it was building you up, right? So we want to be very strategic about how we engage in our partnerships and why. We're going to welcome and onboard a representative from the Malden Disability Commission, expand collaborative programming with community organizations, schools, and local partners, and identify new partnership opportunities that support workforce development, accessibility, and civic engagement. Okay? All right. Moving on to the last page, here's where we identify our second half priorities for the remainder of year 1. So in our technology area, we're going to complete our technology modernization by completing the MediaShare implementation and network upgrades and deploy accessible podcast bay equipment, hopefully before year end. Expand education and workforce development. We're going to launch the internship and apprenticeship framework and strengthen educational partnerships and evaluate workshop programming. Under fund development, we're going to build long-term financial stability by completing the CRM, customer relations management implementation, and begin developing UMA's individual giving campaign program. For board governance, we're going to activate our board committees, recruit and onboard new board members, and develop a comprehensive board orientation program. And lastly, with our deepen community impact, we're going to expand strategic partnerships, continue our legislative advocacy, and advance accessibility and workforce development initiatives through collaborations. So, for board discussion, as we look forward to the second half of year 1, where can the board have the greatest impact in advancing these strategic priorities?
Board governance and deepen community impact.
Agreed.
Those are the 2.
Yep.
So shout out at you right away?
Yeah.
You read my mind.
Eden, Lori?
I agree.
Yeah.
Those are the two that get right to mind.
So Hilda, he said the board governance and the deepen community impact.
Green and blue.
Yeah?
They have to see real people out there.
Okay. All right. Well, again, thank you for going through that with me.
Yeah, that's great. I think it's good to
Yeah.
have that.
Again, I will provide this. So our next quarter ends end of September. So probably October. October's meeting, we'll go through another scorecard, see where we're at. So there's time to improve between now and October and hit some accomplishments. And there's plenty of time. I think we're way ahead, honestly. If you balance all this out, we're over 60%, almost 70% on our year one accomplishments, and I think that's incredible for 1 year, for the first year of a strategic plan. So, yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Next on the agenda, post-event reports. Any events that people have been to? I will start the Juneteenth I was at with Felicia. Again, it was great interacting with people. I talked with them about volunteering. I talked to them about being a board member. I handed out the one sheet. They took pictures of the QR codes. I mean, we had a lot of people interacting with us, which was great. We also were pushing the program, the workshop, youth workshop as well. So those were the three things that we were kind of pushing when we were there, and it was good. There was a great turnout. It's in the gymnasium, and they have music, so it's very loud, but it was a really cool event. It was a really cool event, and I'm glad Uma was there to take part of that.
I understand the feedback. Some of the feedback from the participants was asking if we would do scholarships to the workshop. So that's something that we could look at potentially trying to get sponsorships or funding for a couple scholarship positions on our youth workshops.
Yeah.
So for the development committee.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That was good.
And then Hilda and I did Pride in the Park at the end of June. And then Felicia came in and helped out. What did you think, Hilda?
I was there too, by the way.
Oh, Jenny was there. Sorry. Jenny was. Oh, I kind of forgot that my wife was at Pride in the
I
Park.
helped you set up. I lugged all that stuff. I wore a
tired.
sparkly jumpsuit.
You did. You were the belle of the ball.
Yeah, that's how I was able to find them. Because they had walked into the park before me, and I just see this jumpsuit that's just like a colorful disco ball. It was right in front of me, and I'm like, wait a second, I know them. It was so much fun setting up. We picked a really good spot too.
Yeah, we had a good spot. What did you think about? Yeah.
But it was really fun though. Like, we connected with the residents there. We answered questions. We tried to share our message in a meaningful way. You know, they had few technical difficulties with audio in the beginning, but everybody was having a great time. The kids were running around. There was a coffee truck. You know, they were having a great time. It was a lot of fun.
And what was great about Pride in the Park is we talked about a lot of different UMA programs. We didn't just talk about our youth workshops or community media. We talked about Neighborhood View and Malden events, and people were like, wait, UMA does that and that and that and that. And I love that. I love educating people that we're not just
Yes, and we did
a
say
pay
that. I
station.
neglected to say that, but we did talk
Yes.
about the podcasting and the neighborhood
Yes.
view and everything. Yes.
And so I think we had a lot of member interest out of that engagement. I don't know, Hilda, you were conversing with people more while I was running around like a chicken.
It
in
was
the-
more, I feel like it was more of the youth interested in the podcasting, and like the videos. They just, in the beginning it was like if they had to be a Malden resident to be able to join, you know, they thought it was expensive. So I feel like it was a lot of like clarity that they got walking up to the booth, you know. we told them that our mission was to amplify local voices, support creative expression, strengthen community storytelling, that UMA is for everyone. So I think it was really good. I was only there for a few hours. The rest of the team stayed there till the end, but I think it was really good. I think they enjoyed seeing it there, and I got a lot of comments on the neighborhood view too. They love seeing the neighborhood up and posted.
Cool.
Yeah, so I think that's the only
It's just
events.
those two.
I went to an event that UMA was I think a fiscal sponsor.
No. Well, okay. So, yeah, please talk about it, but just to clarify, we were the fiscal authority. We're not a fiscal sponsor, because that makes it sound like we gave them money. We did not give them money. So, they are a group that's not a nonprofit, and they applied for a grant that needed a nonprofit to manage the money, so we are the nonprofit that managed the money for them.
And that's not called a financial sponsor?
No.
Okay.
It's a fiscal
Fiscal
agent. That's what it is.
Agent, yeah.
Fiscal agent.
Okay.
Which, yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. It was very interactive. They had a lot of different game tables. Some anime with people in costumes that you could take pictures with, that my kids seemed to know exactly who they were, even though I had no idea.
Can you back up? Where was it and when?
It was at City Hall Plaza.
Okay.
I think, was it the Malden Gaming District?
Yes.
And they just had a whole bunch of different activities going on. Some was straight coloring. Some was probably about Dungeons and Dragons. Some of the stuff I just didn't even know what it was.
Yeah, so it's a group called Traveling Controller out of the gaming district, and they were the ones that did the Couch Quest here too. So they approached us about being a fiscal agent for them, which is another way that we're trying to diversify our funding, right? So we take an administrative fee out of the grant funding to process their stuff, and then they get the funding that they need. So they applied for the Malden Community Connection Grant, and we're able to set up this awesome game day out here in Malden. And so once again, deepening those connections. How can UMA be involved? So I'm glad you got to go to it. It sounded like a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I took a bunch of pictures.
So Lori's got pictures.
Which
Glance at
Tons
on
of
the
pictures.
screen.
Yeah.
Games.
So we're hoping to be able to coordinate and do more of that and promote more of that, because I think that's a really awesome way to get your community engaged and stuff like that. So.
And they got me to play Dungeons and Dragons for the first time.
Really?
Yeah, I guess once a month
Yeah.
they do a thing at Pearl Street with different games.
I'm in.
Nice.
I'm gonna have to go.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I think right now that's the only events.
Are there any
Graduation.
upcoming?
Nothing upcoming. Do you guys want to talk about graduation? We didn't talk about it last month, did
Oh.
we?
It was hot.
I enjoyed it. I
I
don't
did too.
know.
No, it's good.
I enjoyed everything.
It's fun.
I
The
enjoyed
there's
other
like a lot of
people,
nice
yeah.
energy there. Everyone's
Yeah.
all,
Yeah.
Everything's
Excited.
like just. I mean, I guess I'm glad I'm not in the stands listening to people that have like air horns or whatever they are.
Oh.
They were fine
Is
out
that
on
a
the
thing?
field. I guess it shouldn't be. I'm not looking.
It's
forward to
not
that.
really loud, but they do it anyway.
They do it
Nice.
anyway. But I even enjoyed like Jonathan and I were outside waiting for James to drive by, and somebody had a bow on a car. Like they must have gotten a new car.
"Ooh."
Wow.
Like just
Yeah.
all of it. Like
Yeah.
just all the people, and so many people in Malden I don't know, right? Like I always feel like I go to events, and you can say yes, people come up to you, and I don't know all of them, but I also feel like I'll go to Maplewood and I'll see Lori, or I'll go to this or that and I'll see the same people over and over again. And like the Malden High graduation is really like, I don't know a
Yeah.
lot of this town, and
Yeah.
to go to that school, you have to live here.
Yeah.
I mean, most likely you live in this zip code. So it's just, I don't know. It's kind of eye-opening.
You really see how diverse Malden is.
Right.
I mean, we all know it's diverse, but man, it's amazing.
Absolutely.
And then when your kids go to college, they realize like I was in a diverse school.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I don't know. It was good weather too. Like it didn't
Yeah.
rain. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you doing the post. That was awesome, and that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about when you're. That's a small. It was a small thing,
Yeah.
but you had a huge engagement on that, right? So,
Right. Yeah. Or
yeah.
I don't know. I didn't know how to tag Uma, like, so I don't know if I could have gotten it on Uma's page, but I did, like, I mean, I referred to Uma, like, it wasn't
Yeah.
like I said, oh, I'm here randomly, but
I think we're all.
Out of the goodness of my heart.
I think we're all one word at Urban Media Arts. It's all
Okay.
like all one word.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways.
sorry, but yeah.
No, it was great. It was great. It was fantastic. I loved seeing it. So
I enjoyed doing it.
great.
I don't-
Yeah.
But no, nothing upcoming. I think the next official event we'll have is our annual meeting. Segue.
Yeah, segue. Part C, annual meeting date discussion. I know we talked about moving it into October. My question is, if we do that, we'll still have our September meeting.
Are we having an
Correct.
August meeting? Are we skipping August?
We can discuss that.
Okay, I don't know.
Well-
I know we're going to annual meeting,
Yeah.
so if you want to go there, but I don't. I
That
just-
should probably go under new business.
Okay.
So, I know we discussed moving it from the September 17th, which is where it would land, to either October 8th or 1st, maybe?
Well,
Or 15th?
October 15th would technically be your regular scheduled meeting.
Right.
Could we do October 15th?
Do we want to push it that late? Are there reasons why we're pushing it to begin with? Maybe you can start there.
I think schedule wise for me, it's conflicting usually if it's late September. So I would love any time in the first 3 weeks of October.
I requested it to be moved for personal reasons. And also Felicia is probably going to be out as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't practice, but I know our meetings don't fall on weekends, but there's like a ton of Jewish holidays that fall on every.
I think
Weekend.
they're in September this
I
year.
don't know if
Okay.
they fall during the weekday or how we would have to like
If-
possibly maneuver around
If we
those.
do October, we're all set.
Yeah, right. That's what
Okay,
I'm saying
great.
too. Like September would.
think
I don't
we all-
know for sure, but it seems trickier with that going on.
Well, and to note, I won't be here for the September meeting.
Okay, and
I
that's
think October sounds like it might be an easier thing.
Yeah, I'm fine with October. It's just what date? Do we want to keep it on our regular scheduled meeting, or do we want to bump it up a week,
I would
like to the
consider
8th?
bumping it up.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
15th
the
is the
8th
regular
sounds
meeting.
okay,
Not
right?
pushing
Is
it
that what
back
the-
so far.
Right.
I don't know when Indigenous Peoples
No,
Weekend is, if that would
That's
have any
12th.
effect.
It's the 12th. That's a Monday.
Yeah, so the
Yeah,
8th
it's
would-
usually a
Fine,
Monday.
Yeah.
And also, I would want to check on the 8th, just to double check, because I think the Disability Commission meets the Thursday before us.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be their regular meeting
Well, the
night
8th.
if we had somebody
What
from
if
their
we went
board.
the 7th and did it a Wednesday?
Was there anything-
Wait,
in the
the
minutes?
third Thursday?
the third
Second,
Thursday.
I think
Second
it's the
Thursday.
second
Yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
okay.
I think they meet at 6 too, so I honestly I think the 10th is your best or the 8th is your best bet, but it's a kind
And
of
they
a
do
happy
meet the
medium, but
second
Hilda, do you
Thursday.
have any issues with that?
No, I'm open October 8th.
They do meet. I mean, at least when I googled.
But
Disability
it sounds like
Commission,
they meet at
6. Okay. If you think they can get over here in time. I don't know where they meet either.
we usually hold the meeting earlier.
But we could do the kid. I don't know if they missed the youth section.
I think that we could work it out with the individual, but I think you all have to decide what day you want to do it.
Right. I mean, I don't care to move it to a Wednesday, like the 7th, if that's a problem. So that way we're not hitting their meeting. But then you're putting back-to-back nights for their, this and then their
Yeah,
meeting.
and not only that, but Wednesdays tend to be a very active night for families
Okay.
and
So do Thursdays. I don't. Why would Wednesday not be the same? as
religious
Thursday?
birthdays.
Wednesday school. Catechism. I had it.
Okay.
No.
I remember that growing up.
So we're not doing August?
That hasn't
We
been
haven't gotten there yet.
discussed
That's
yet.
new business.
Okay, alright, okay.
We're still
Annual
discussing the annual meeting,
Is that something
which would be in
Emmanuel-
October.
Can you ask Emmanuel if he has any?
Yes.
The
How about
15th?
we narrow it down to what, the 8th and possibly the 16th, and then we
15th.
15th, and then we talk about it at the next meeting, or no?
No, because we need to know now, because
Oh,
we have
okay.
to start.
All right,
Or
Just do the 8th then.
let's do the 8th.
Let's call it the 8th, and then if we need to push it to the 15th, we can, right?
There you go.
The next meeting.
But let me ask you this: is there a reason to go from your regular date? Like, why not just do your regular date?
The 15th.
Because it's too late in the month, or what?
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like it's late.
It's the 16th today.
Yeah, but it's just.
Or
I
you
mean, I
mean
feel
too
like you're
late for the
taking a
annual
meeting
meeting?
that you're
Yeah, the
taking
meeting
from
is a month
September,
later.
and then you're pushing it
I would
like.
say so many years it's been in October, I don't think it really matters.
Okay, maybe it doesn't matter. My son's
But-
birthday is the 14th, but I don't think the 15th matters either way.
All right,
I
so we
would
do
go
the
with
fourth
that.
Thursday of the October then?
The third, which is October 15th.
October 15th.
October 15th.
We'll just keep it on our regular scheduled
Let's
meeting.
do it.
That's going to be our annual meeting.
Okay.
At the annual meeting, we'll have to look at.
Was there
we'll have
anything
to,
in the minutes about what date was good or bad?
Huh?
Was there anything in the minutes from last month about people liking or disliking certain dates?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was
Just to
basically the
double
same
check.
conversation we're
I
having
think it
right
was
now.
the
Yeah,
same
it was all the same,
conversation,
yeah.
and then it was like, yeah, we'll talk about it at next
Yeah.
week's meeting. I think that's a good idea to keep it on the date that you normally would.
Okay.
We can
Okay.
promote it that way. Just know, Lori, you and I will need to coordinate about whose seat's up for what, because we'll have to do a member. Like, there's a lot of admin stuff that we have to do on our side. So,
Okay.
And then our
15th
next.
of October. You got that, Hilda?
Yep.
All right. So the question was, do we meet in August?
For the
Does
20th.
anyone have issues with the 20th, which is when it would be? Thursday the 20th.
I don't have any issue with that. We could do
Summer,
that.
or do we not have it, is the
We could-
question.
We could have
Or-
it, and then we could skip September.
Or we could have a development committee instead. No. You can't.
so now that you've determined when the annual meeting is,
Yeah.
the annual meeting is your meeting. So how are you going to run it?
So
What's
we need to-
happening?
okay.
What's the plan?
Yeah, so we need to have another meeting about
So-
the annual
Okay.
meeting.
Right. So there'll be, I don't know that we're gonna be doing legacy and or, impact awards this year.
Okay.
The UMA staff will talk about that. So the only UMA contribution will be my annual
Update.
report
Yeah.
and the, filming or the viewing of the youth workshop things.
Okay.
So this is your
Okay.
annual meeting for run your business and engage.
So we should at least meet next month, and maybe to discuss that.
Yeah. Thursday, August 20th.
Yeah.
So we're keeping August 20th, Hilda? Sound good? All right. Excellent.
Then are we
Yep, that
gonna
works.
are we gonna keep September 17th as well?
We,
I
how about
think,
TBD?
I think we should, just,
I think
Okay.
you should. Just
Okay.
because I'm not here doesn't mean you
Yeah.
can't have a meeting.
Yeah.
yeah. Now, would you provide an ED report then still for us, or no?
Yes, I will send one out the week prior.
Or we
Okay.
could just focus on the annual
Right.
meeting
Yeah.
too, right?
It could be your work session. You
Yeah.
can you could have it as a work session if you
Yeah.
want.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Cool.
Right.
August, September, and we've got our annual meeting, October 15th.
And then there's no
Lori, is that all good?
volunteer
Yeah.
Okay.
events
Just getting the
that
date is September
in the
17th.
short term that UMA members might
Just
need
Halloween at the end of October.
Okay, but nothing August, nothing July,
Not
the
that we
rest
know
of
of.
July.
No.
Okay.
But looking ahead, now that you've done the 3-year budget and you've done the 3-year strategic plan, year end is going to be really light for business. So, you might want to
Take
look at
November
what you
off.
can get done in November so that you potentially don't have to meet in December. is
Yeah.
Mhm.
All I'm saying.
All we need to recruit.
Recruit before December.
Recruit.
Nobody wants to recruit
I think we
in
should just have the
December.
coffee truck show up one morning and have.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love
there
it.
you go.
Let's do it.
There you go.
Just like we want to be on
You
the
know what?
board.
We'll bring a bunch of puppies.
Here, coffee.
And we'll bring
Coffee
puppies and the
and
people will
puppies.
stop.
Yeah.
Puppies and coffee.
But it
not
could be worth
bribery.
a conversation. I know that they're
Michelle's
having a
coffee
couple
truck?
events at the farmers market this summer,
Yeah.
so maybe we could see about getting
Having
a
a
table at
table.
one of the bigger events.
Yeah.
Because they're having
That'd
live
be good.
music and stuff.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
somebody wanted
Yeah.
to reach out to the organizers and try to coordinate that, that would be helpful.
Do we know who they are, or I
Yeah.
can figure it out?
Well, Marcel is one of
Okay.
them.
I'll reach out.
And I don't
Great.
know of any other big
That's fine.
events happening in Malden. I'm just trying to think of spots where we could pop into and maybe like Jenny and I go to random spots and hand out business cards for our other business, right? Like the
Right.
same concept could happen for
The
Uma.
bike path or the community garden, right?
Speaking of, I saw you biking the other day.
Did you? Probably.
Yeah, down towards Everett. Yeah.
Maybe.
Like,
Maybe.
oh, that's Eden. And then I ran into something. No, just kidding.
The only thing I have coming up is on the 20th before our meeting. They're doing popsicles on the plaza, but that's Linden doing like their back to school
Yeah, back to school night. I probably-
welcome, you know.
Oh, that's the
That's not really
Thursday.
a place for us to be,
Yeah.
right?
No,
That's
but
just
it's
a-
meaning she can't make the meeting, right? That's
No, it can, but like that'll be the only thing where I'd be probably with other
Oh, people. Got it.
adults.
Yeah.
My children would be that earlier that day before our meeting.
Yeah.
And we're
Well,
there.
and we could see, I thought there was something going on with the Malden Riverworks project.
Oh,
Maybe there's an
yeah.
event for that that
There's
we could
gonna
go
be
to.
a kickoff. I
Oh,
heard.
I thought so. I thought I saw
Yeah,
something there.
Like August
Mm.
or September.
I saw something about like the Malden Dems yearly dinner or something that might be coming up.
But then that's political,
not-
and then I don't think you want to do
Yeah.
No.
that because I got in trouble with my own company without giving them notice. So yeah.
But
Well-
if there's something going on, I can chat with James. There's usually something going on, and like Veterans Day, Labor Day,
Yeah,
Right.
something like that.
Yeah.
We can try to coordinate some stuff.
cool. All right, we'll stay on that. Okay, so moving on to new business.
I think we did what?
Yeah, we
planning
were kind of
meetings?
segueing
Kinda-
into that for the
kinda,
Yeah,
August
I already
meeting.
did that. Unless we have other new business.
Not really.
That's good.
I don't have any new business for the board.
All right. Well, I think we've done it.
See you in August.
Motion to adjourn?
I'll find out.
Motion to adjourn by
Motion
Jenny.
to adjourn. Okay. And I'll find out. I'll reach out to the organizer and find out what Wednesday, and then I'll email the board if
For
everything's-
farmer's
Fantastic.
market.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
great. All right, on Jenny's motion, any second?
I'll second it.
Hilda seconds. Motion to adjourn. All right, see you in August.
Woohoo.
Okay, bye guys. Be
Bye.
safe.
Bye,
Take care.
thank you.
Bye, Hilda.
Bye.